My question revolves around the topics such as Inverloop gears using the Shaper, Beaded Edge, and CAD at Junior Cert Technographics, and how the fact that they're not being said means that their validity on the curriculum is being questioned because they're not being taught. Is there a trichotomy between the agendas of technology curriculum assessment and teaching using the current junior cycle award reform as a case study? What is the commonality and difference of these agendas? This graphic really shows what I mean. I'm looking for commonality. What do they all have in common? What does some have in common but others don't? And if we're able to identify things that are in commonality, we can identify them as not a problem anymore. We shouldn't be investing more resources, and we should be using a Pareto chart and looking at these areas over here and prioritizing them. Let's say if there's more alignment between assessment and teaching, then we need to look at moving curriculum into that alignment. It's not going to be equal amounts, it'll all be different, but until we look at this in specifics to actual subjects, we won't know. Literature review, I said it before, I was looking at assessment and teaching the exam and why it's a viable way. It maybe not be viewed as an ethical way of teaching, but that is only with the current high stakes assessment. If we have the perfect assessment, teaching the assessment is perfect teaching. I was actually shocked when a guest speaker, was from the NCCA, was talking about the SEC and how they don't see eye to eye. There's how curriculum narrowing is that assessment is the perfect way, and the only way to change education or the content is by narrowing curriculum so that it can work with this current assessment. It revolves on the fact that everything has to be assessed. Currently the majority of stuff being taught is on the assessment, and because it's so high stakes, it is the end all and be all when it comes to the Leaving Cert, is the institutionalization required to actually be competitive in the exam, and because it has stakes. Research method, I want to do a transformative research method because I want it to be specific to technology education stakeholders, because I find that the majority of research is too academic. I don't think that the vocational nature of technology is applicable to a lot of academic subjects. This is annoying because we are quite a minority as technology education stakeholders. We are not in the top 10 taken subjects, I think. Triangulation, this is so that we can use mixed methods of qualitative and quantitative from the interviews, and I want to use embedded design so that these interviews can further on inform these online surveys and maybe give topics for focus groups for discussion. These interviews will be 4 phases, initially with each teachers, and then assessment makers, and then curriculum makers, and then hopefully all together once they've gotten the topics independent of one another and their perceptions of one another first, of their agendas, and then afterwards maybe as a way of problem solving and seeing what solutions made together in place for practice. It's hinting back to the virtuous cycle, that if we do a little good here, better curriculum here, it's going to make better students, better teachers, more confident, better atmosphere in the classroom, because there's less stress, confusion around this. And if we're able to do this fast, we're able to inform current reform and future reform, and greater alignment will reach that. Hopefully greater alignment will never be perfect, but better is always good.